Hi everyone, thank you all for watching my video. Today I'll be doing an expansion on Week 4 speech topic. The topic that I had spoken on then was life in a colonia. Today, as I expand on that topic and further my research on that, I will be attempting to not say a single time in my speech. So bear with me if I take long awkward pauses throughout my video. Also, I will be working on not having a distracting background. I did have someone tell me that my background was a little bit distracting for her. My 9-month-old is asleep right now, so bear with me. I am limited on where I can change my background to. I hope this is a better angle for y'all though. Many of you may be wondering where a colonia can be found and essentially what it is. Colonias can be found in Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California, essentially any state that borders with Mexico. Of those states, Texas does have the largest colonia population with about 400,000 Texans living in what is deemed a colonia. There are more than 2,000 Texas colonias throughout the entire state, and most of them located primarily along about 1,200 to 1,300 miles of border with Mexico. A question that was brought up as I have done this speech to people that I'm practicing with, as well as on my video submissions, is why are we not doing anything to improve the conditions in the colonia? The simple explanation for this is that it's not that we're not, it's that we're being overtaxed as a government. So Texas does have state and locally based governments working to fix this problem, but the sheer number of colonias is exceeding the amount of funding that is available to help them. Basically, most colonias that are deemed in a red level, which would mean that they have housing that's not to code, they don't have basic running water or sewage services, electricity. Basically, everything that you and I are so accustomed to is not there yet. So it is just very overwhelming for the state to come in and fix it all quickly, but it is something that is being worked on. And of course, at the end of the video, I will give a few more insights as to what we can do as Texans or United States citizens, for that matter, to help alleviate this issue further. The reason why colonias cannot be left as they are is because, first and foremost, they are a health risk. Many of these homes are dilapidated and lack potable water and sewage and drainage systems. The floodplain locations make colonias an ideal place for disease to spread and grow. The Texas Department of Health data shows that hepatitis A, Salmonella, diphtheria, cholera, and other diseases occur at much higher rates in colonias than they do outside of the colonias. Furthermore, a lack of medical services compounds to further problems for the colonias and its citizens. Unemployment is also another issue that seems to be surrounding those living in a colonia. Many of them, if they are legal, may not speak fluent English. They may not be very well educated. Also, a third reason is that most of these colonias are not within city limits. So these people are so poor that they have dilapidated housing, therefore more than likely not having regular access to a car, if access really at all to a car, making it nearly impossible for them to even attempt to get a job, as they would have no way to get there for the most part. So unemployment also is something that adds a lot of stress to the colonias and prevents the residents of colonias from bettering their situation as well. Basic access to water and sewer service. I know that I have already referenced this prior to, but I do need to touch on it again, as it is predominantly one of the big health concerns to colonias themselves. Because of the potentially serious consequences for public health and its effect on the quality of life, one of the greatest concerns would be the lack of the wastewater infrastructure and potable water. So many of these colonias, they don't have sewer systems, and instead they rely on a septic tank that is nowhere near large enough and nowhere near in good enough condition to handle what it's being put through. And because of this, whenever you walk through many of these colonias, you will see overflow from the septic tank actually on the ground outside of the unpaved roads, which many of these children are actually walking through, passing by. Animals are as well, getting their feet in that, coming back into a house and spreading the germs and disease that could be found in the sewage remnants. The problem also in reference to the roads is exacerbated, as in that they are often unpaved and uncovered. So this not only leads to the problem of the sewage, but it also builds up onto a drainage issue. So whenever there are heavy rains, water will collect because of an inadequate drainage system. Elevation as well causes this problem. These conditions combined with inadequate septic tanks also contribute to the septic sewage pooling around on the ground as well. In order to help fix the issue of colonias, it is a slow process, but we as Texans and American citizens can help by contacting any governor for the state that you are concerned mostly about. I'm in Texas, so I would recommend contacting Greg Abbott. I do believe that while we have most of our colonias into at least a yellow on a scale of green, yellow, and red, most of them are yellow, some are green. We do need to take more caution and precautions with those reds because we are spreading more illness throughout not only the colonias but the communities as well. So by contacting Greg Abbott, you can keep that in the forefront of his mind and just push to have, for the very minimum, running water and sewage systems put into these areas for the residents there. Furthermore, I do know that Texas A&M University in Kingsville, the Kingsville branch, is also doing programs with their engineers. They go out and they help bring running water, so you can feel free to look them up and donate to them as well to help them hit more colonias throughout Texas. Thank you all for watching my speech, and I look forward to hearing y'all's feedback.